Hey y'all, this is AL Think Madame, and this is the recap review for Ready to Love. So, listen, I look real raggedy in my life. So, I've just put on layers of stuff so that y'all cannot detect the degree of raggediness that's going on. So, yeah, I have a humongous head. So, if y'all know of any vendors and things that sell hats like this, that would fit a humongous head like mine. Listen, this is the best y'all gonna get out of me. My head is huge. Like I live for hats. Like I have a Scooby Doo hat over there. I have a PlayStation hat, and I have a My Hero Academia, hat over there, which is anime. For those of y'all who don't know what I'm talking about, um, I'm just saying, like, I want to start wearing some hats, but those particular ones that are over there, they're just for display or whatever. But yeah, I have to mask the raggediness because it's giving very much raggedy today. And on top of all of that, y'all, I cannot wait to do the next Married Man side heifer saga because it's just day two of work that has just passed by. And I'm just like, what is I'm tired. So between Tuesday and Thursday, y'all will have another situation uploaded because I'm tired. Like I'm so tired in my spirit. But anyway, let's get into this recap review. I had to give y'all the lowdown real quick and to let y'all, pretty much address the elephant in the room, which is me. But I'm just saying the fact that I got all of these layers and things. Anyway, so the episode started out with the men meeting up because they are the ones who are in control this week. And as we saw in the preview, they are going to have to step outside of their comfort zone and go out with someone who they probably would have never given a chance to, but they need to do that because they could have been leaving stones unturned when they had other options out there, and it probably could have been a better option than the main one that they looking at because they just looking, just looking, and that's it. That's all I'm saying. Ain't even gonna go there. But anyway, yeah, let's get into that a little bit further. The dates have begun, and we see Zadia with it's like I want to say Walter, but I feel like I'm saying the wrong name. But yeah, I don't know why I want to say Walter. I think it's the oldest man that's there, y'all. Forgive me. Sleep is trying to, come in. Y'all probably will experience the raspiness because I should be going somewhere and laying down sooner than later. So yeah, that's a part of what's going on as well. So forgive me in advance. Let me get my life together and I'll be right back. Okay, so I was correct. It's Walter and Zadia, and they met up at this nail place. She was in the middle of getting her toes done and worked on and all that good stuff. He actually took his shoes off. I guess he was going to get a pedicure as well, get his feet massaged at least. And they started talking, and she was talking about how guys will make you think one thing, and then when you get with them, they'll treat you completely different from the way that you would think they would treat you, especially if they grew up raised by someone who raised them right and they still dog out women. And so he was like, well, with me, I was dating my late wife, and my friend came at me and was like, dog, you tripping. You got a good one on your hands. You messed that up, then look. So anyway, he values relationships, love and relationships, and he's acting as if he really would want to settle down and he is serious about it and all of that. She was talking about how in her family they actually do like cabin, like I guess camping and stuff like that. And because he's all about like family functions, I ain't gonna lie, I have been kind of traumatized a little bit. So I grew up loving having like family reunions and all that other stuff. But as I got older, because of how I had been treated by family members, specifically people who were literally along my age range, and even the adults, I just did not want to go. I would shy away from events, and unless my mama would tell me she needed my help, because she usually was baking a whole lot of stuff and cooking a lot of stuff, and so it was myself, my daddy, and like my brother and sister all hauling stuff into these family functions. So yeah, after I got old enough, if she didn't ask me, I was not volunteering to go because I didn't like that. And I mean, and it's sad because I grew up wishing that I had that type of family relationship. You know what I'm saying? And like I never understood because like for those of y'all who are from Montgomery, Alabama, or a lot of people have heard about my school, my alma mater, Alabama State University. That's where I've always wanted to go. That's where I went to, and that is where I graduated from. And when I was in this program, I was able to live on campus for that summer. And it was an awesome program, but I never understood the people who wanted to rush home at the end of each week. Like, because I was a part of the summer program that they did, that it was a government funded program, and they would want to rush home. And I just be like, why? You just saw them. Like, what is, I ain't understand. I did not understand. I was like, I'm good on that. What are y'all talking about? I don't understand. What y'all rushing home for? You know what I'm saying? And it ain't had nothing to do with my parents and my siblings. I love them. It ain't had nothing to do with that. I was just like, it's summertime and I just don't care anymore like I did when I was a child. Like, I'm not trying to be all up in arms because it's not the fairy tale that I always dreamed that it would be for me. So anyway, enough about that. I'm sorry that I went off on a tangent, but stuff like that, it kind of brings up stuff for me. Sabrina and Sean, who is the new guy who came in last week, they ended up linking up for a little date. They had fun, but then the situation got a little serious when he wanted to know whether or not she was done having kids. And she was like, yeah. She's a 9-year-old. She's 45 years old. He's 44 years old. And that's kind of why things are in an awkward position right now with him and the other person. So it's like, okay. But despite that, he is like, I still want another date with you. And, you know, they want to see where things lead. But he is still trying to help her to understand, I'm still going to be straightforward with you no matter what is going on. So at least he's willing to go on another date with her because he does like her. Because as soon as he said that, you could tell his demeanor changed a little bit, and it was kind of like, I don't know, I might need to just be done with you. But he really like her, so he gonna try and see where it leads. Sometimes you gotta see where it leads you. There are people, my cousin said, I never want to have kids. And now she has, what, 3? And I mean, I'm telling you, since we were children, she said, I don't want kids, I don't want kids, I don't want kids. She has 3. So, I mean, she's 45, so I can understand that. That child is 9 years old. Don't nobody really want to start all over again after so much time has passed by with Pampers and all that again. So, I get it. Aisha and Phil went out on a date and they were talking, and he found out how much she pretty much likes being a housewife, well, at least doing what people deem to be the duties of a housewife. She really loves cooking and all that stuff. But it got really serious when the question of whether or not she wants to have kids came up. Because he was like, you know, I've heard some things. And, you know, because the last time they linked up, we all heard about what was going on and what was said to, was it Walter? Or was it, y'all, I done forgot the person. But anyway, Sean, it might have been Sean. I think, yeah, it was Sean last week. And she was like, yeah, I don't want to have any more kids. So she told him, like, you know, pretty much, you know, we have had some time to talk. We didn't know this, but they were in the confessional and they both were talking about they've talked to one another just outside of the cameras rolling. They're on the phone talking, and she actually had some car issues, and he made sure she got home okay and all this other stuff. You know, he called and made sure she got home. And so she was grateful that they had the date. and she knew that he physically was into her, but she wasn't really sure as to whether or not it was a situation that would be like, okay, he sees me in a deeper light. So she was like, you know what? Because I like you and I feel like it could go deeper, I'm going to reveal to you the reason why I say that. She told him that the reason why she tells people that she's not trying to have any more kids is because she is afraid of failure. Um, with the two children that she does have, she almost lost both of them. She's one of those people who does not carry babies very well. She lost a third baby altogether. So yeah, she does not want to get with someone, marry them, and then they have their hopes up, and she might not be able to deliver. And so it just, you could tell how hurt she was. Like, she broke down and was crying, and it was a lot to take in. I cannot even begin to imagine the pain that she felt just even trying to relive that and express that to him. But he said that he was grateful that she told him that, and you pretty much have no choice but to like her even more. So they seem to have a great vibe. We will see where it leads. Naeem and Camille. They went out on a date and it went not that well, in my opinion. Camille was on her typical stuff, and eventually she wanted to know how much money these folks was making, and it's like you're not even getting to know him. So yeah, she wanted to know about whether or not he wanted to have kids and all this other stuff. And so you can kind of tell that he's kind of like, I don't know about all that. Let's just start with me getting to know the woman first. And then she was like, well, how many kids? And he was like, let's start with one child. So yeah, that was a very uncomfortable to watch. She was in her confessional talking about they could be friends, but that's about it. And she had him to feed her from an oyster. And so the person in production was like, you know that oysters are aphrodisiac, right? And so she said he wasn't finna get no coochie. I was like, why? Why is this happening? But yeah, that didn't go well at all. At all. She might need to go home. I mean, she has needed to go home anyway, but she might be the one going home today. Depending on what I see later on. I ain't finna name no names because I was definitely about to drop a name, but I ain't gonna do it. Dante, Mumin, Frank, Sabrina. If there's anybody else that I'm missing, okay, my bad. But there was a group date that happened and everybody linked up. So the place that they are at is kind of like a mini golfing type situation. They look like they're having fun. I haven't been like to a place like that in I don't know how long. But they look like they're really having a lot of good fun. So Mumin was spending a little bit of time with Dante and she enjoyed herself, but then it got to a point where Sabrina grabbed Dante and went off to have a one-on-one date with him. And that left Mumin and Frank together. So Sabrina was talking to Dante, and he has 3 kids. And because she has at least one, he was grateful that she understood the struggles and just the fact that he is a father and he's a present father, and that despite the fact that he has 3 baby mamas, luckily they aren't drama filled and he's not a drama filled person, that she was, open to it and didn't automatically say, oh, okay, X against you. I ain't got time. So they seem to enjoy one another. That was cool. So then we get over to Mumin and Frank, and they're talking and they seem to be having a decent time. And then he was like, look, I got to ask you something. I mean, I know we've been talking one-on-one, but I need to know something. You've already discussed that you are celibate. Like, I'm trying to get to know all sides of you. And so she was like, well, basically, I'm just at a point in my life where I feel like sex is easy. That's easy to get to. And if the man is right for me, then he will wait. And, he was like, he feels as though their connection is getting stronger and he might be willing to do all that. But we'll see. Because he is a very hypersexual person. So I don't know how that's gonna go. So we finally see Tasia out on a date, and she's on a date with Sean, who is the new guy. So he feels as though she is a beautiful woman who has a nice country twang, and that's what really made him very attracted to her. I was like, okay. so, so they linked up and they were talking and they want the same things. Like, she wants to be married, have kids, have that family and all that stuff. He wants all of that as well. And he found out about her background, which is that her family, her parents are from Mississippi. So, you know what I'm saying? She's pretty much from Chicago, but her parents are from Mississippi. So that's where the country twang comes from that he lives for. And he himself grew up in the Black Baptist church. Like, I ain't gonna lie. I laughed a little bit when they mentioned that part, because when I was growing up as a child, I would see Baptists on churches, right? And so one day we passed by a church when we were like together in a vehicle with my mom and all of them. And I was like, oh, we've never been to that church before. Oh, because I saw Baptists on it. We aren't, my denomination is not Baptist. So when I saw it, my mama was like, oh, well, that's a white church. I was like, there's a such thing as a white Baptist church? She was like, yeah, there are white Baptist churches and there are Black Baptist churches. So, like, I forgot what a lot of the ones back home are called. It's called something. It's something added onto it most of the time that kind of gives it away as to the fact that it is definitely a white Baptist church, or it might be very, very mixed. A very mixed crowd up in there. But most of the time it was a white Baptist church. So I was shocked that they said something about it. I was kind of, like, oh, okay. Y'all bringing it up. Okay, then. So they both have that upbringing. They both are of the same denomination. So I was like, oh, okay, then. Y'all just said it all. So he was here for that. And like I was saying, he actually grew up in the Black Baptist church. And he said something about Macon, Georgia. I was like, oh, you Southern. You got some Southern roots too. Okay, then. So they seem to be meshing quite well. So we will see where that leads, because he thought he had other connections with other people to the point of where he really thought, oh, these might be the ones, but I don't know. So far, this seems to be his strongest connection. So we'll see where that goes. All right. So to round all the dates out, Courtney and Cornelius went out. Now, we saw that they had like a little vibe going on when they did the double date a couple of episodes back. And Camille was not feeling that. Camille was very territorial and did not like the fact that they went off by themselves and was having fun. And, well, the moments that he would look over at her instead of being all focused in on her, it was just too much. So anyway, they had their one-on-one, and ultimately she wanted to see where his head was at, to see if some things might have loosened up, because she's a very sexual person and she wants to test out stuff. So if you're going to be in a relationship with her, she wants to be able to test the goods. He is a Christian, and despite the fact that he's a Christian, he's not like most of us where, yeah, we're a Christian. Yeah, we believe in the Lord. We believe in this. We believe in that. We believe that there is a higher power. But a lot of us are not trying to, be celibate or whatever. A lot of us are out here in these streets. A lot of people are for the streets that claim to be Christian. We're just going to be honest. I'm not trying to ruffle no feathers. The truth is just the truth. I'm just saying. They be out here and they claiming that they live for a higher power and they be doing everything under the sun. So anyway, but he is sticking to his convictions, and he feels as though whoever he's going to be with, they're going to stick it out. and he ain't trying to do nothing. And so she's like, look, I'm gonna go after what I want. I know what I want. So I don't know about them. But at the same time, who is the other person? Mameen is the one who does not want to, have premarital sex. So I don't know if they are going to mesh well or whatever, but those really are the only two that's pretty much speaking the same language as far as that is concerned. But yeah, that was pretty much the end of the date, and he was just kind of looking like, And like I told y'all before, y'all know, I already told y'all, Cornelius is the one who looks like my friend who's in the military. My friend is younger than him, and I legit feel like this man got to be his cousin. Got to be his older cousin. I'm talking about the way he do that. Like, so many of the same mannerisms, and they look a whole lot alike. I feel like my friend has more of a detailed look, and my friend has hair, and he has more facial hair, and child, he fine. We ain't gonna go there. But yeah, I really feel like that's his cousin. But anyway, I digress. The men are meeting back at the gentleman's lounge, and they are about to deliberate and discuss everything that has happened thus far and make their decision. So after the deliberation, the men decided that Camille and Courtney are in the bottom two, and they had Walter and Sean to link up with them to discuss all of this. So, am I saying the right person? I know Walter was one of them. Was Sean another one? Anyway, whoever the other person was, if I'm not saying the correct name, they are talking to each one of them individually, and I don't think that that's who that was. Wait a minute. I feel like that was y'all, my bad. I just want to make sure I have the right person. Dante, because I was like, no, Dante is the one who ended up talking to Camille, and Walter ended up talking to Courtney. So you could tell that Camille was not into Dante at all. Apparently she wasn't never here for him. And she was rude at one point in time. And I was just like, why you gotta do all of that? Like, she was just so rude. And she was like, she's the type of person that if she ain't here for somebody, she let it be known and move on. And she was like, you know what I'm saying? Just need to get this going. You know what I'm saying? I got a class at 7 or something, she said. And I'm like, be that as it may, why are you so rude? Like, what is going on? Everybody already calling you crazy except for Cornelius. I don't understand what Cornelius sees in you outside the fact that you're beautiful and you have a nice body, because you are coming off as possessive and crazy. So I don't understand what else is going on in Cornelius's mind at this point. Like, you gonna have to go. Like, every time we see her with somebody, she's acting crazy. So I just knew she was going home this week, right? So then, anyway, they show Walter talking to Camille, and they finally having like a nice little date or whatever. And so she thinking that it's cool. Find out the guys are getting homie vibes from her, and she's doing too much and all of this. So she a little confused. She was like, okay. Ended up sending her home and keeping Camille. And I'm just like, Tommy said they needed to even it up. So I thought that they was going to do another double elimination. I don't know what was going on, because Camille should have been gone too, y'all. I don't understand what's going on here. She was very rude for no reason to that man. I don't understand. But anyway, yeah, that was the episode. Next week is going to be very intense. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully I will enjoy that episode. Yeah. So anyway, y'all, I'm about to trade all of this layering in for this bonnet. Start winding down and go to sleep so that I can be prepared for work Thank you so much for tuning in to this recap review. Let's get down in the comment section and discuss all of this. Thumbs this up and subscribe if you have not done so. Bye.